It's about choosing a different source of energy. And I think that is the difference between a regenerative approach to our lives and to business and to creation versus something that is extremely extractive and unsustainable.
I love that you have that awareness around the Microsoft identity and the parts of us that after we go through a burnout, especially are like pushing away all these parts of us. It's like
Yeah.
you're the problem, right? And what we learn in parts work, Gestalt, internal family systems, all this stuff is playing the same playground. It is really like you don't get rid of the ambitious, hardworking, competitive, capitalist part of ourselves.
Mhm.
It's just starting to realize, wow, okay, that part might have a few misunderstandings about what will lead to fulfillment. And so then
Mhm.
I just start to do some forgiveness. I start to do some neuro linguistic reprogramming. There are all kinds of modalities, right, to do this work where you start to shift the beliefs that are creating the conditions for burnout. And part of that
Mhm.
is taking these parts of us and being like, come here, you crazy ambitious lady. Like, where are you trying to get? What's motivating you? Come here, sweetie. I got you. Like loving them back into the whole of ourselves versus having this part that we're trying to deny now, right? And who's always trying to be accepted or belong or be praised because that's supposed to mean love.
I think that's so huge. You've worked with leaders all around the world. And how much of this is something that women end up experiencing versus men? Is this like a masculine and feminine dynamic at play here too, right? Because there is an aspect to this, and I'm just having a very meta experience because I left Microsoft. I started studying Chinese medicine, where, of course, we dove deep into yin and yang theory, like yang energy being the productive, like kind of fiery energy, yin being like the rest, the creation kind of energy that comes from receiving versus grabbing and grasping. And it's not that one is bad, the other one is good. It's just that the imbalance is what causes disease in either direction, right?
Mm,
And the yin and yang is just such a parallel for not gendered even. I'm not talking about gendered, but almost like the masculine, the feminine energy from an energetic point of view. And I'm wondering, with the leaders that you work with, is this something that everyone is waking up to? Is it something that women especially are experiencing because there is an aspect of almost like driving against our primal nature? That our nature as women is cyclical. It's cyclical like the seasons, right? Like we have 28-day cycles and we have cycles throughout our lives, like on a meta level, right? From going from child to maiden into our more fertile years into kind of menopause and then the crone stages. Like these are all cycles. So I'm just curious, in your experience, is this like a global suffering? Is this like something that women are uniquely like struggling to identify with? Like, what is your perspective on that
mm.
too?
Wow. Yeah. So well said about yin and yang. And my 2 cents, it was helpful for me to have the feminine masculine language in the spiritual context. I studied Tantra for a little while, and it was really helpful when at a time when I felt hyper masculine. So I came out
Mm.
of the film business with this sense that, yeah, the feminine parts of me were being intentionally repressed, not by anyone necessarily other than myself. I'm sure it was happening culturally, but it was really me doing it. And so I think that, yes, there is a global shift happening. If I'm totally honest, I feel like there are a few indigenous actually prophecy that we are aware of that have been around for hundreds of years that have predicted this phase where the masculine kind of ran with the baton of evolution, of our growth here on this planet. And now the wing of the masculine has grown tired and is overworked. And the wing of the feminine, this is the prophecy of the condor. The wing of the feminine is just underutilized. It's not as strong. It needs to gain muscle and power. And then this is where it will be balanced out eventually